I'll wait till see if anybody pops in for the fantastic news. Make sure my stream is working, and we'll start the festivities. I hope you guys are doing wonderful this fantastic evening. I hope you guys are- Peace. Good afternoon. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you. Good morning, actually. I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I am Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn, New York, coming at you with this impromptu, unscheduled, early morning, can't sleep from the good news, Foul Play Sports Stream. If you guys haven't heard, or if you've been living under a rock, the one of the greatest free agents that's appeared on the market for baseball has just signed the biggest contract in the history of sports with a team that I love more than anything in this world, the New York Mets. Let me wait till a few heads to come through. And I don't even cover sports that often. Besides boxing, and I don't even cover that no more because boxing is whack. But get the paint. My cat cuddles here. So that. But so I'm not gonna talk sports that often unless I do another channel, Frog Player Sports. However, this evening is different. I love sports very much. I love boxing. Um, I love football a lot. I'm rooting for. I'm a big time Giants and Jets fan. I've always loved the Giants and the Jets. I'm not a wafer fan or a flip sider. Football's not on that long in the year. So, ready? Go. Football's not on for long enough for me to choose sides. And both my teams are whack anyway, the Giants and the Jets. But I love both the Giants and the Jets. I love the Rangers. I love the Knicks. Um, I love boxing. One of my greatest loves, the sport I participated in. However, and I'm very adept at all those sports, talking all those sports because I think I'm one of the illest drafters as far as the NFL goes. I love college football too. I forgot to mention that. I don't have a team though. I'm a New York fan. And Syracuse isn't nothing to root for. However, as much as I love sports, and I would love to do sports talk in the future, my fandom for none of those teams, it's probably all those teams wrapped, all those sports get 5% of my sports love. The Mets get the other 99, baby, because I'm a Met fan through and through. That's the only team I have tattooed on me. It's the only team I diss any sport for. Hey, Barstool Salad, how you doing? Good evening. And this is no knock to the Yankees, but I'm a true Met fan through and through. I'm from Brooklyn, New York City, and I got a lot of Yankee hate coming up. I'm not gonna be the bigger person. I'm not trying to troll either, but the fact that we signed them away from the Yankees makes it all that much sweeter. As a Met fan, a real Met fan. But however, um, the bigger instance is that the New York Mets ended up with the biggest free agent in quite some time. Is he bigger than Otani? I mean, he's not a bigger star, sure, but he could challenge Otani as far as stardom. Living here in New York City, where's the paintbrush? This cat wants me to keep throwing the paintbrush to her. She lost it. Here, catch the bottle. Um, However, this evening the Mets are second place in this city no longer. New York City, as of today, belongs to the Mets. Baseball, our owner, Steve Cohen, has put you on notice. No longer are you going to be. There we go. Look at the cat. Look, let me give another cat. My cat colors. Ready? One, two, three, go. That wasn't that great. But this evening changed all that. I don't want to sound melodramatic, but I mean, I love this team more than anything in this world, honestly. And for us to sign this kind of player, the kind of player that always gets taken from the Mets, in Juan Soto, and the fact that not only did he was on the Yankees, I mean, not for long term, but nevertheless, I mean, the fact that he played in New York in the New York market already with the Yankees took them to the World Series this past year, and honestly, since Soto's arrived to baseball, I've seen his first game with Washington. I watch a lot, not that many games outside of market, but there were certain players that I always watch. Fernandez from the Marlins. But Juan Soto was probably the player I watched the most of another team, and always wished, like, man, I wish we could get a player like Juan Soto on the Mets, and he would do so well against us with the Nationals. And I was always impressed by him. I always thought that his eye, as far as pitch recognition, knowing the strike zone, was comparable to only one player I ever seen in my life, and that was older Barry Bonds. And honestly, Juan Soto had a to me better pitch recognition than Barry Bonds. But Juan Soto was had that eye and that pitch recognition at 22 years old, 21 years old. And I would always wonder, man, like if that kid ever became a free agent, I mean, how great it would be if he had become a Met. The fact that it's so much money, I mean, sure, I mean, could that hinder us down the line? But that's so far from my mind, it's not even funny because our owner nutted up and said to hell with it. We don't. There's no salary cap in place. I mean, as far like I mean, you only get penalized. It's only money, and it's his money. The man's rich. Since he's on the Mets, he's added 4 billion to his fortune. I mean, and he was already. I'm not a pocket watcher like some say, but he was already worth a lot of money. But as an owner, that's all I need from you is to bring the best players in. I mean, and this evening he did just that. I mean, they're building out the Mets organization. This past year showed that, like, where it's almost like a family. But there's been a really serious atmosphere among this team last year, especially. Baby could. Um, but to have that financial commitment for the New York Mets owner to bring in Juan Soto, especially at such an exorbitant price, I mean, just proves to me that this isn't the first of big splashes that are going to be made, not only this year, but into the future. I mean, and that just sits so well with me as a long time, long suffering Met fan. I love this team more than anything. But I remember us signing Mo Vaughn and so being so pissed off because I was away. Um, and I got that news maybe a week after it happened. Um, how heartbroken I was. I was, and I mean, or when we signed Jason Bay, even Glavin. I mean, there was so many questions. I mean, I don't even want to get into that. But it would always be like one guy that we would sign, and then we wouldn't sign somebody for a couple years. Even when we got Beltron, I mean, like we should have gotten Delgado that year. I know we got Pedro and we got Beltron. I mean, but that same year Delgado was a free agent. and we could have signed him that year outright. But to hell with that. I mean, like, and that just shows like a lot of times, like even though we would waste money or we would spend money, we would always, at best, fall short of going all the way as far as spending goes. And the fact that we have such a great owner now in Steve Cohen, um, putting his financial capabilities to work in our behalf, I mean, it's a really good place to be. And I'm at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I talk about on this channel has to do more with politics and cats. But make no mistake about it, I would do anything for the Mets. I love this team so much. And I'm not saying that because we signed Juan Soto. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't. I wouldn't get tatted up for this team like I have any other team, or gotten into fights, physical, over this team more than once. I wouldn't do this stuff like that now, but that goes to say that in spite of the fact that politically I try to stay in tune, and not much of what I say politically is positive. Um, in spite of the fact that I, have a regular life, this team, I don't know what it is. I'm just obsessed with it, and I'm obsessed with all sports. I just don't talk about it on this channel, but nothing compares to like the Mets, the New York Mets, the New York fucking Mets. And on top of that too, I don't want to bring these assholes into my stream. I'm not the fans, but the organization of the Yankees. I mean, much of my fandom is based on Yankee hate. I'm no hater, but when it comes to the Yankees, I can't control myself. I hate them so much. I mean, I kind of hate their fan base too. I mean, I'm trying to be nice in the stream, but God, if there's something I hate in the world, I mean, I can't stand the Cowboys. I can't stand the Lakers. Um, I don't even shit on Jersey or as far as the Devils go. I'm not a big time hater of any particular NHL team. Sometimes the Capitals when I used to live in DC, but and also the Kings, but it doesn't match up. But God, I hate the Yankees so much. But a lot of that, it's not because I'm a Yankee hater. It's just because I love the Mets. I love the fucking Mets so much, and it's been so hard to root for this team. It really has. I mean, like, I've always dreamed about owning the Mets, but I gotta settle for the fact that Steve Cohen is the owner, and this evening, let me turn on the Christmas tree. What I am doing here, bro? Like I'm over here tripping my peoples. Like what's going on, bro? Like why among such good news am I not in the let's get the holly jollies going, my friends. My apologies. But I'm just so happy. And and this is not to like this is the tour of the Surfal Play Ski Casa Surfal Play. I'm giving you an all exclusive look. But this is not I mean, and this is my living room and my dining room right off of it. All you see is Mets, my friends. I love this team so much. Here's my wooden cutout of Mr. Met. My Willard's Point, which is the train stop for my beloved team. What else? The degenerate bastard Los Angeles Dodgers were once based out of Brooklyn. So, I mean, I got to pay a little homage to the fact that there's a Brooklyn team. What else I got going on for Mets? My Dwight Gooden signed picture. But this is not normal. I mean, and this is not no fair weather stuff. And again, in spite of the fact that I don't talk sports much or ever on this channel, most of it's political. Most of it, hey, Kimberly Brown, thanks for coming through. Everything I do is political on this channel, by and large, especially me, because everybody has to flavor the week. But my fandom for this at times wretched franchise in the past um, is so large. Uh, and this Christmas, Steve Cohen came through in a major way, my friends. I may drink a brewski. I can't sleep anyway. Like the this is I'm so happy. Oh, let me throw the paintbrush to my cat clothes again. Close. Ready? One, two, get it. But going back to what I said, as far as tactic goes, we still got a free agency to conduct, and um, the money. I mean, I could care less. Like, it is gonna hurt our salary cap if Steve Cohen actually cares about that. Hopefully, he doesn't. I mean, because the Dodgers have done all this financial loophole games that they've done in signing, particularly Otani. Nobody should gripe if Steve Cohen goes over the salary cap this year and beyond. I mean, by all means, it's not my money. I mean, so long as he continues to spend it towards the Mets, I can give two shits. I mean, and he's shown that. You go to Citi Field, I mean, everything's decked out. It gets better and better every time you go. I mean, like you'll go from one year to the next. I mean, and even I didn't go this whole past year, but because I'm not that kind of fan. I don't like to attend the ball games because I don't like to go into New York City. Honestly, I love going to ball games. I just don't like to going into New York City. That's what I mean. And I don't live far from New York City. But and I'm going to spring training this year, mandatory. That's going down. I mean, I'd rather go to Florida than go to Queens. But I'm going to Queens this year too. But I mean, somebody as cheap as me, who that's my other tenet in life is being frugal or being a cheapskate. Um, I'm gonna attend these games. Not many. I've had season tickets. My brother Deuce Times. Peace to you, bro. I hope you're not a Dodger fan, my brother, because I don't talk sports that often too. It'll probably never go down again in this platform, honestly, unless we win the World Series. But I was telling them, because I'm a big time sports fan, Deuce Times. I just don't talk about it much. I don't even talk boxing as much as I used to. But as much as I love sports, I mean, like they probably take all sports combined don't even take 5% of my sports fandom. 95% of it is for the New York Mets, my beloved. Yo, Steph Mark. Sorry, my brother. Got much love for you. And this man, 27 out, Stephen Martinez has a fantastic channel, and that's my dogs. But I'm sorry, my brother. I know you're a Yankee fan, bro. But I'm not gonna front, bro. Like I mean, I've espoused my Yankee hate, not to you, and not. I got much love for you, my brother, and Ivan and the team at 27 ounce. But part of my big time blood that runs through me, as far as Met fandom, is sticking it to the Yankees, and we never got to do that fiscally, especially. And now that Steve Cohen has blessed us, not that I only wanted to stick it to the Yankees, but I've always loved Juan Soto. Even when we talked at the radio station, bro, how like we would always big this dude up and like knew the talent that he was, and the fact that I mean, if there was any position player that I've ever hyped up, it's been that man. And at that time, I mean, when we met each other, yeah, I mean, the dude was probably like early 20s, and the dude was a dog then, bro. Like fucking but that's not the kind of person that the Mets historically have signed. I mean, it's always been the Yankees, and tonight, I mean, everything changed. Like, honestly, too. I mean, in spite of the fact that it's a big ass commitment, but I think things for the near immediate future aren't like even financially. that bad, in spite of the fact that we signed Soto. But I'm just so happy that this dude's here. I mean, like, I couldn't even sleep. I'm gonna probably kill off some beers that I have in the fridge just so I can try to go to sleep. And I've been up since like 7 in the morning. I'm but and I've been reading since I've been trying like and watching Sopranos. But I'm just so hyped. I mean, this is my favorite time of the year, like just based on intrigue with free agency and whatnot, or one of my favorite times. But it's not like we've had like success like coming out with many players in free agency in the past, and definitely not no dude like Soto, bro. I'm just so hyped, man. And I look at it in the sense of like basketball, like I mean, like with in rationalizing, like as far as getting that kind of dude. With basketball, there's only 5 slots on that team, and if you have like two whack ones or only two good ones, I mean, your team's not gonna pop off. I've known this with the Knicks since I've been a Knicks fan, especially, and I was a Knicks fan when the Knicks were actually good. I gave up on watching the Knicks. I just couldn't watch Knicks basketball up until like 2 years ago, um, because I couldn't do it no more. But I know how hard it is to bag like one or two like good people, let alone bagging like 3 people like in a basketball team. But those roster spots are so precious on the starting lineup that if you fill out one slot on a basketball team per se, like it's like having 20% of your team Gucci, and that's it's 20 is better than not having 20%. In baseball, I've been thinking about it like, and with this dude, I'm like, with Soto, I'm like, man, if he were to take one slot of the 9 in this lineup, that's 10% of our lineup that's going to be occupied with the illest hitter that I've seen since I've been watching. Honestly, I'm not saying it too because we signed him. Like I'm just saying it because of the fact of how good that pitch recognition and plate discipline has been since this dude been 18. Watching him, I've seen Worth come up from the beginning. Trout, I've seen him come up from the beginning, even though he was on the West Coast. I mean, I didn't watch him as much as Soto. I mean, and Trout's numbers are probably as good as Soto's, if not maybe in some cases better, except for like walks. But Trout was out there, and he had the injury history. But Trout wasn't a demon. He didn't have that like ability to make your pitcher sweat like Soto is. Soto's just a bad dude when he's at that plate. I mean, and contending him against him as a national. I mean, the Nationals have kind of been dudes that we've sunned up since they've been around. I mean, they've stuck it to us at inopportune times for sure. But Juan Soto, just watching him, um, and the fact that he's been the same way since I've seen him play, just that little bastard at the plate, like fucking stares pitches down. That gotta play into pitchers' heads. And him joining the Mets, I mean, he has an opportunity to do that on the best lineup he has played in, provided that we re-sign Pete Alonso. I mean, I'm not super stressed about that. At the end of the day, Steve Cohen is gonna outbid anybody. Should I mean, I'm pretty sure of that now. I mean, we already busted out the 775, and Pete Alonso is the best first baseman available right now. So I fully expect that to happen. So I think he's gonna ball out on the rotation. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I'll take it either way. But I think we're at a good spot as far as trading people and filling out our rotation at some spot in that fashion. I don't even care, honestly. I'm just happy that we got Han Soto, man. Like shit. I mean, my back's been hurting for like 2 weeks, and my neck, and I think it's solely to do with whether we were gonna land Juan Soto or not. And I couldn't be happier, honestly. I haven't been. As you get older, what more could you bag that makes you happy, or you get more happy as far as for your kids and whatnot. Yeah, but there's only one time in my life where I'm exuberant, like on a regular level, like, and it's usually in this house watching the fucking Mets. You know, and I never miss any Met games. I mean, that's a sin, but it hasn't been easy, and that's the one team I don't. The Giants. I mean, there's games that I miss that during the times that they suck. Not every game though. I mean, maybe two, and there hasn't been much of a reason to watch the Jets or the Giants, and I love both teams. But I watch every single game. I love baseball um, more than any sport, but it's this team. It's this team, and the fact that you know suffering watching this team for many years, and the fact that I know how hard it is for a franchise, especially baseball, to turn it around and become successful. But for it to pop off as far as financial commitments from the owner, because Wilpon was the most frustrating owner. I mean, like taking out ventures to get into bullshit. Honestly, real estate. The fact that he was attached to the Bernie Madoff stuff, and it always killed our capacity to sign people to the point where people just attach Mets fandom to just loserdom in a sense, based on not only like not making big financial commitments at times, making the real wrong ones, but most times really not showing that commitment, and just making really bad moves as a franchise on every venture. I mean, putting the Amway Global New York headquarters on the backside of City Field. I mean, stupid shit like that. I mean, we've always done it. I mean, our park or the area around our park has always sucked. It still does. I mean, but with people that have no synergy behind them, like a Wilpon, um, that area around City Field and this team in general wouldn't amount to shit. But with somebody like Cohen, I mean, and making moves like he did this evening, anything's possible. And honestly, anything is possible with this team now. And this evening, it showed the world that we are the big dogs as far as financials go. Make no mistake about it. I mean, and honestly, I don't feel bad for other teams because if I follow finances a lot, and it's something I talk about on this channel too on the low. I mean, but it gets rejected in a sense, like, but whatever. I mean, go follow MSNBC for financial advice. But inflation, if you already have money, I mean, just you stashing your money and throwing it in the market is generating tons of cash for, and doubly so for billionaires. Like I mentioned earlier, I think Steve Cohen was worth 18 billion when he purchased the team. He's amassed 4 more billion to his fortune during the time he's owned the Mets, which has been 4 years. And I'm not pocket watching, but those are the numbers. He went from being 18 billion as far as net worth to 22 billion. And that's just him playing the market. He's not doing that from owning the Mets. And it's not because he's a super genius investor. I mean, he is. I mean, but he's not doing anything that these other owners aren't doing themselves. Like, you don't think the Dodgers know that like throwing Otani's money into the future um, is not going to be that much of a hit just based on inflation. And Steve Cohen's commitment is different. I mean, yeah, he's gonna feel the ramifications of it every year in terms of salary cap. But who gives a shit if he's losing? If he's throwing 100 million per year um, to for going over the salary cap, by all means, fantastic. Just keep it. Just keep doing it. I mean, the Dodgers are playing games as far as um, doing things to throw salary into the future. I mean, Steve Cohen could take the hit on going over the salary cap. Fair is fair, And I think honestly, any other team. I mean, or not. I'm not even gonna go into that. I just think that in a lot of things were allowed to pass because they wanted to give the West Coast a reason to like for the Dodgers to be good. I don't know, just to get them riveted up. But I sometimes don't think that like a case like Otani, like and what they did with his contract, would not have been allowed in a normal circumstance. I think it was sprung on us and whatever. Like I mean, they're allowed to do what they do. Steve Cohen should be allowed to be a pirate with his money and bring us the big fish. And there's been no bigger fish that I wanted in the history of my fandom than Soto. I mean, at times there were many players that were on the market simultaneously. I mentioned when we got Beltran, we should have signed Delgado. There were other times in which the free agency was robust, like when we let Wheeler walk away too. It's just dumb shit like that that we had to suffer, even though like New York is the biggest baseball market in the world, bar none. Boston does not compare. I mean, in spite of the fact that they have love for their Red Sox, yes, but New York is New York. The fact that the Mets have sucked is kind of reminiscent. I mean, it's kind of in a sense like never factored that the fan base in New York and as far as it relates to the Mets, it's just as impassioned as Yankee fans, bar none, especially in Brooklyn. I mean, in my area of Brooklyn, um, Sunset, Bay Ridge, which is more, I thought, growing up, a little bit more Met than Yankee, but it was never treated in that capacity. Like, I mean, the love that Met fans have for this team. I mean, like, and the fact that in spite of the Yankees being dope historically, and I can't stand the Yankees, but I have to give it up to them. The New York market, I've always, in my eyes, seen it as almost 50-50. Um, and I mean, I may be biased in that, but I mean, anywhere I go, I always in New York in the tri-state area. I mean, there's just as many Met fans as there are Yankee fans. But the fact that our owners have been such fuck ups, it's really never registered nationally in a sense. Oh no, I wasn't aiming. I don't get it twisted, bro. I'm not beefing with anybody in the chat or any of that stuff. I just can't stand the Yankees, honestly. And I have a lot of hate for many teams, bro. Like I can't stand. I don't want to like shade anybody in particular. My Yankee hate is doesn't even like you could put every team I hate in all of college football. I'll put it out there. I hate the Cowboys. I mean, I hate the Chiefs too now though. Like I'm that's more new school hate, but the I can't stand Mahomes. I can't stand that he's on every commercial. But I'm a big time hater, like too. But the fact, like, I'm such a hater because of the Yankees. Honestly, my hate for the Yankees is almost as bad as like my love for the Mets. Not really though. I just love this team so much, man. Like it's I can't even explain it honestly. It just takes it's taken over my life in a large way. I don't do shit, and I like get out there and get after it. But if the Mets are playing, I don't do shit. I mean, I shouldn't do that. But I just love this team so much. Um, if I'm I'll basically give up my summer like for the Mets every year, and I do that when the Mets suck. I bought season when I bought season tickets was in 2008, and that was an embarrassment of a season. I was there the last game. In fact, my friend no, no, no. That was the last. Yeah, no, no, no. That the year 2007 when we missed the playoffs. My we and I had to go to the last game of that season. My best friend put the beats on some dude right before the game, and we ended up running into one of the hosts of a local radio station at the game right after. I mean, and that's not because of my friends being tough. It's because I've gone to I don't go to games anymore, but I mean every year at least 20 games, if not when I had season tickets, I probably went to half those games. But that's I don't have time for much except this team, honestly. It sucks to say it in a sense because it's not like we've had a lot of success because we fucking have it. Like this team has blown my whole life essentially. Like throughout my whole life, no matter what I was into, it's always been this team that I run back to. Like I don't care if I was in love, I don't care if I got into fights, whether I got into real heartbreaking shit. Like, my man's got locked up, or I lost this one. It's always been the Mets that I run back to. Like I don't care what I do, like and it's a rational love. It's like my my kids, honestly. But it's been really really hard, like loving this team in the past. But these past couple years, I mean, in spite of the like, and we almost got to the World Series this past year. The illest year of my Mets fandom was last year. Um, Full disclosure, and it came at the perfect time too. My dog died the year before that. We weren't expected to do not the year before that, a couple months before that. We weren't expecting to do shit. The It was I had other terrible shit happen throughout that year. I mean that whole year, like it just kept feeling like it was back to back, and it was more based on like um how tough it is like to and because I'm a cheapskate, how tough it is to handle like 2023, 2024, and to have such a dope year like we did last year. Like I mean, it was a gift, honestly, to me, to me at least. It was the dopest year in baseball I've ever lived through, and we didn't even win the World Series. I mean, like at the end of it, I wasn't even tripping that we didn't win that much. I just knew that we had a dope ass team, um, that we had a real good core, and that Juan Soto was out there to be had right after the season was done. And our owner made it seem as if from Jump Street he was going to be the guy that walked away with him. I can't be happier. I mean, And I've already envisioned the lineup with Lindor, um, Vientos, Soto, Alonso, if we sign him, Nimmo, Marte, Alvarez, McNeil, and Siri as my 1 through 9 temporarily. I mean, writing this shit as on my glass shower doors as I'm getting ready. I mean, getting ready to try to go to bed, like a couple minutes ago, but I just can't sleep from how excited I am. Ain't that right, cuz? Mm. Oh, let me see if I got comments too. My comment section has not been activated. Nah, but seriously, and this is not like shitting on like actually I'm not even trying to be cordial. Like, it is. I'm super happy. I mean, there's not many instances in which this has happened. Like every time there was a free agent that the Yankees wanted, we would never outdo them like that. I mean, even with Beltran, the fact that he signed with us, I mean, I knew he wanted to sign with the Yankees more. I mean, but ultimately we got him, but it's never been that kind of party with this team. And here we are. I'm not an emotional guy like that. No, I'm not crying for this team. I'm just taken aback, and I'm dead tired too. I mean, rooting for my Giants to win earlier. I mean, for my Giants to lose. Um, and I'm so glad that they lost against the Saints. Pumped up that we may get a better draft pick. That was that. In addition to the Jets screwing up my other favorite team, and hopefully having the impetus to not draft. I mean, to get rid of Aaron Rodgers, who I didn't want in the first place. We could look past these things, my peoples, fellow Met fans, the world throughout. As happy as I was with both my teams losing today, because I'm a huge Jet and Giant fan. In addition to being realistic and wanting a new quarterback for both my teams, so I need that draft pick to go higher. So I was super pumped about that, but this whole Soto waiting thing was killing me, my people. And the fact that he's gonna be donning that orange and blue in spring training, which I'll be going to front and center, my people. I could just envision 2025 being cracking for the Surfile Play Ski. Not only with this team, but throughout, my friends. Better things coming for New York City. Better things coming for the USA. Better things coming for the New York Mets. I mean, and that's the most important thing of it all. Much love to you who have showed up. Um, but I'm gonna grab that beer that I was saying and bid you adieu, my friends. I'll say goodbye to Mr. Met, the second happiest camper this evening. But Juan Soto, number 22, orange and blue. Let's go.